City. I'm AJ Gibson, sitting down with David Barash. You are the Executive Director of the GE Foundation. Fresh off the stage, you were just in there talking about building resilient communities. You've had a long partnership with Americares. Why was that topic important for you to discuss today?
You know, resiliency is critical. It's really about being prepared for crisis. Crisis is always going to happen. You know, as much as we want to believe that the next crisis, whether it's an earthquake, a hurricane, a terrorist attack, whatever it is, something will happen. We know there's going to be a crisis, and I think it's important that we're prepared for it. Prepared emotionally, prepared from a system perspective, and that all leads to our resilience. And if we're thinking about the things we can control and plan for those and address them, that's great. If we understand there are things that we can't control and are ready to understand that and react to those things, we're going to be much better at any type of crisis. So it's really important to talk about what Americares does in terms of resiliency, what we can do to support in terms of resiliency, and what our government partners and other community and private sector partners can do for resiliency.
Why does that matter to an organization like GE? You're a massive organization.
Right.
You wouldn't have to care about something like this if you didn't want to. Why does it matter?
Because of exactly that. We're a massive organization, we're a global company, we're part of global communities. We have nearly 300,000 employees around the world who, when a crisis happens, it affects our employees. Personally, it affects their jobs, it affects our customers, it affects the equipment that our customers have, it affects our government partners that we work with. We're in 180 countries. When there's a crisis, you can be pretty sure we're probably in that country to some degree. So it matters to us to think about this, to help our partners be prepared for it and help them respond to it.
I never think technology has a large part in this.
And we can deploy technology, we can deploy other assets, human resources, as well as equipment.
So what makes you optimistic about society and how society can meet the needs moving forward of such crisis?
So I'm optimistic because of the kinds of things I just talked about. We as a foundation, we as a company, I think we, in terms of our partners here, think about how you can take a problem, break it down into its pieces, and start to develop solutions for that problem. A couple of examples. We work on access to surgery globally in low and middle income countries. That's a big problem. 5 billion people don't have access to surgery. How do you attack that problem in a systematic way to enable those people to have access? So we break it down into simple parts and start to attack it piece by piece to put those solutions together. As I said earlier, you need a plan. We're working with partners to develop national surgical plans so low and middle income countries can develop a plan to improve their surgical infrastructure. Once you develop that plan, you put the pieces together to address the elements of that plan, and then you really look at how you've done, you measure yourself and see what you can do better. We're doing the same things in the opioid crisis here in the US, and we're doing some similar things around STEM education in Boston.
Well, I'm glad you brought up education. What role do you think education will play in the resiliency of societies globally moving forward?
You know, the two or three big things in the world that solve the world's problems are education, health, and infrastructure, electricity, things like that. So education is critical. People need to be able to have basic levels of education, literacy, math. People also need to have not just education in terms of intellectual education, but I think skills education, learning how to, or developing the skills that they can deploy in the workplace, whether that's manufacturing, whether that's intellectual skills, whether that's any other type of skill. They need to be able to use those to go into the workplace.
Well, it sounds like you're helping move that conversation forward and changing lives around the world. I appreciate you.
We're trying, and I am optimistic.
Awesome. So good to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well, AJ.
Yeah,
Thanks
stick
so
around.
much.
We have more coming up.